Welcome to part 2 of this video series of how I like to mod Skyrim. Now this is the 4th time I'm refilming this, and I don't really have the energy to go through every single little baby step. What I intend to do is go through all the steps I wanted to show you from the beginning or the conception of this series, and for all the finicky details, for those of you who want to get to the nitty-gritty stuff, I will refer you to a video series made by another YouTuber called Gopher. He is who I learnt most of my modding skills from, so why redo if there is already something else that works? Start off by opening VORTEX. One key thing for this entire series is I highly recommend the VORTEX folder we will be making later in the video, you make it in the same hard drive as your Steam library. This will just avoid some complications, which I will not be covering on how to fix. So if you can put all of these on the same hard drive, please do. Ignore that. I'm only getting that because I have refilmed. Now, what we're going to do is go to folders, right click, new folder, make a VORTEX mod folder. When you're done with that, go inside, make a Skyrim SE folder. VORTEX manages many games, we just want to manage Skyrim, and it's a good habit to keep your files organized. Once you've done that, make 2 new folders, one called mods, one called downloads. When you're done with that, go back to your VORTEX. If you do not see this, do not worry, I will be covering that soon. Go to your settings, go to mods, click on this folder. Find where you have just made those folders we just spoke about. VORTEX mods, Skyrim, mods, and select folder. Hit apply if it's not grayed out. Mine is because I've already done it. If yours is already grayed out, do not panic, it's fine. Do this again for downloads. Find your directory, VORTEX, Skyrim, downloads, select folder, done. And again, if that apply lights up, just hit apply. Good, you're following along. Now go to games. Go scan for games. Hit this folder. Come along to where you saved your Steam library. Select the folder. Scan. When that is done scanning, you should see Skyrim. If it's not there, go ahead and just search. And then you'll see a lit up, colorized version of Skyrim. If it's grayed out, it means VORTEX has not registered it yet. But if you do what I just told you to do, and you've installed Skyrim, boom, done. Click Manage on Skyrim Special Edition. If you see it here and here, great, VORTEX is now managing Skyrim. Now go ahead and open all of the links I have supplied for you in the description. Quick note, you will be needing 7-zip and WinRAR. You only need one, I like having both. I will also supply the links in the description. I'm not going to show you how to install those, it's not that complicated. Once you have those, go ahead to your first mod. Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. This fixes a whole bunch of random bullshit that Bethesda didn't get around to. Like missing items, mesh collisions, as you can see there. Instead of clipping through some stuff, you can actually walk on it. All of the mods in this video, in my opinion, are important, and I recommend grabbing them all. Even if you think you won't use it, just grab it anyway, I'm showing you how to do it. Go along to Files. I might be going through this very fast. If you're interested, feel free to read the descriptions. They do have how-tos for the installing, but I'm showing you how to do it with VORTEX. Do not click these. Just please go down to Files and go ahead and download with Mod Manager. Do not click this. It will start by itself. We will let that finish. I personally prefer letting each mod finish by itself, just because that's how I like operating, and that's what I'm going to do. You can feel free to just let everything download, but that's not what I'm doing. Do not install anything yet, just leave it be. And now move on, done with that one. Skyrim Script Extender. We will be grabbing the SE build, just go ahead and download that. Tip, one thing I recommend doing is going along to a browser and telling it to change where your download folder is. I have told mine to go ahead and download in my VORTEX mod folder. So all my downloads are automatically going right here. Cool. Now once you have the script extender, go ahead, if this is hiding, go ahead and open that up and just drag and drop that there. Now if you for some reason see test over here, that's fine. When we enable the mod, then it should say Skyrim SE. If you do not see FNIS data, do not worry. Again, I'm refilming. That was left over from something else. We will get around to it. Go ahead and enable the unofficial Skyrim patch. Okay, dismiss. And go ahead and enable script extender. Again, ignore this. You should not be having that. If you do, we'll sort it out in a minute. You know what, let's sort it out right now. I do not want to install everything just to run into a problem. So we're done with the SKSE. You can go ahead and get rid of that. Let's skip along to Force New Ideals in Skyrim. This is a whole bunch of script. It's more of a tool. It allows animations to be added to your Skyrim. It itself already adds a whole bunch. You'll get some spells in your spell list in game that will allow you to apply them. If you want to know more, please read and watch some of these videos. I will not be getting into it. Go ahead to Files, go to the latest version, and grab that. For now, we will just be grabbing the behavior version. Keep this tab open because we will be coming back for some of the other files. Go ahead and install, enable. Once you've enabled that, go over to your dashboard, Force New Ideals in Skyrim. If you do not see that, that is okay. You can just go here and add it. Once you've done that, go to the three dots, click Edit. If yours has already figured it out, wonderful. If not, do what I do. Go along to where you have installed your game. Steam Apps, Common, Special Edition, Data, Tools, Generate FNIS for Users, and .exe. Open. Save. Go to Settings. Go to Interface. Make sure this is turned on. You want this turned on. It will now activate FNIS every time you deploy your mods. This is what you want. Now go over to Mods. You should see Configure FNIS. Click on that. Tick these two. The rest of them are for specific mods, and if in the future you grab them, go ahead and tick the appropriate ones. For all the mods I will be showing you, you only need these two. Go ahead and save that. Now, to make sure everything's working, go ahead and deploy mods. Now, if this pops up, go ahead and update. See, the two ticks we did in that configure will just automatically tick this. If you do not tick these in the configure FNIS, you'll have to manually tick these every single time this deploys. That can be annoying. Go ahead and update FNIS behavior. You'll know it's finished when this lights back up again. Go ahead and click that. 0, that's good, and hit exit. Go ahead and hit cancel. I never want to see that, it's bloody annoying. Check again. There you go. That's why I had that issue. I had refilmed this, it couldn't see it anymore, so it was freaking out. You should not see this either. That's good, this is what we want. It's always good when there's no problems. Now, let's move on to the next few mods. Alright, if you are ever modding outside of this mod series, I do recommend, I know I brushed over it, but I do recommend getting into the habit of reading the description. It might be a lot, but the more you mod, the more you'll learn what to look for, what titles to look for, and eventually you won't be reading everything. But if you're overcautious, I just recommend reading that. For the mods I'm going to show you, feel free to just do what I do. Go along to SkyUI. This is a mod that just redoes the entire interface of the inventory system and menus as a whole. I can no longer play the game without this because it just gives a much bigger variety of sorting out your Skyrim inventory, because the base game was designed with consoles in mind. This is designed for keyboard players, PC players in mind. You might be thinking, oh, I'm so used to the other way. Just get this. You'll get used to it. And a lot of mods ask for it. The main reason is a lot of mods ask for it the second main reason is just do it. Main version, go ahead, mod manage download. This requires SKSE 64, which we already have. Because it has a requirement, you will have to manually click download. You only have to manually click download when there is a requirement, because it's just how the program works. Once that's done, cool. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's just install everything as we go, eh? Enable. Whoa, that was so easy. So every time you deploy, this one will disable and re-enable it by itself. That's perfectly normal. Do not fuck with it. Let it do its thing. Cool, we are done with SkyUI. If you still have that open, go ahead and close it. XP32 Maximum Skeleton Special Edition, or XPMSSE. Again, I filmed this 4 times. That's a bit of a mouthful. What this will do is, it'll add a skeleton for the player model and character models of Skyrim. So all NPCs and the player will now have a skeleton bone structure added. There is already one. This one is better. Go ahead and read the description if you want to know more, but we're going to go straight into the files. Mod Manager download. This requires these. We already have 2 of them. We do not have RaceMenu. Now I can download this anyway. It will not harm anything as long as I have RaceMenu before we run the game, which we will. But just because we need it right now, let's go ahead to RaceMenu. No, that's compatibility. RaceMenu. What RaceMenu does, it adds a massive ton of features to be able to manipulate the crap out of your character. You can change skin tones to non-natural colors. You can change your eyes. A lot of mods will inject their mods through RaceMenu. A lot of eye mods, hair mods, face textures, presets, all of that. It's really good and you can spend hours doing this. Again, it's important. A lot of mods ask for it and you're going to get it because I say so. Go ahead and grab the main version. I'll just go backwards real quick. It's going to start anyway. You want the main version. Always look at the most updated tag. Sometimes we will grab mods that aren't the most recent, but that's specific case by case reasons. Once you have that, cool, get rid of it. Go over here, go ahead and enable. If one mod requires others, it's normally recommended to have it lower on the load order. VORTEX will handle load orders for you. It has a program called Loot built into it. You'll see a lot of on the internet saying Loot is the best program to manage your mods. VORTEX has the same script files that Loot uses in it. They have conjoined the programs. So once you've gone and enabled that, go ahead and install Skeleton. RaceMenu, okay, we're going to exit that for now. If you see the RaceMenu there, just go ahead and enable all. That's what we want. And then go ahead and install this. Physics, because why wouldn't you want physics? RaceMenu, that's because that's what we're using. I'm not grabbing any of those, I'm going none. Animations, feel free to read all of these, it has descriptions over here. For the time being, I'm just going to go none. Axes on the back. This one says missing sounds, so I will not be grabbing this. I do like the belt fastened quivers. We will not be grabbing this one because there's missing sounds. But the belt fastened quivers, I do like. Go ahead and grab that. No idea what this is, so I'm not taking it. We do not have that one, so go none. This is a mod. We do not have it. In future videos, we will be using this. If you have no intention of using Joy of Perspective, go ahead and click none. Joy of Perspective fastens the camera to where your player head model is, so when you look down, you can see your body. You will no longer just be a floating intelligence. So go ahead and click that preemptively. If you play Skyrim before you've got this, that's fine. It won't break your game, but grab it anyway. I do not have Deadly Mutilation. I do not have End Roll. Cool. Enable that. If at any point it's just updating for a long time, as you can see back here, FNIS is opened up. Go ahead and update. Every time this opens, just click update, and when it's done, click consistency check. 0, cool, that's fine, and go ahead and exit. It is not a problem when that opens, it just needs to be told what to do. Cool. And now 0 errors, 0 conflicts, everything's working. Now normally it's recommended to launch Skyrim every time you finish with the mod, but I know these are working for me, so I'm not going to bother with that just yet. Static Mesh Improvement mod. This is a mesh improvement, so the 3D models of all the items are basically shitty, and this gives them all a lot more detail. So here is a very obvious. So in the vanilla Skyrim, if you've never noticed, for some weird reason, all of these are painted on. All of the chains are 2D. This mod gives them shape. This mod gives them mass. It just fixes a whole bunch of other texture issues. So it's a massive mod that will just make Skyrim a better place. Because once you see these, if you're anything like me, you can never unsee them. Go ahead to Files, Download with Mod Manager. Now this one is fairly big. It might take some time. That is okay. Go ahead and let that finish. Pause if you need, and hit play when you're done. Cool. Go ahead and enable or install. Again, this will take a little longer because it's a much bigger mod. You want this. You need this. You don't know you need it, but you do. Awesome. Now, once that's done, this should pop up. You can go ahead and do custom install, but I'm gonna grab everything. This is a mod where it is all custom choice. So if you want to go custom install and personally pick everything, that's perfectly up to you. It doesn't matter. It will not affect any of the mods in the future. I'm just grabbing everything because, hey, simplicity. But go ahead and do the custom install if you want to see what it contains. Again, it will not affect the rest of the videos in this series. Enable, cool. And again, no issues. Great, that's what we want. So that's Static Mesh Improvement done. Let's skip into BodySlide. Just before we grab this, we're actually going to grab one mod ahead of schedule, and that's Caliente's Beautiful Bodies Enhancer. Now, be warned, there will be nudity. Caliente's Beautiful Body Enhancer, or CBBE, is a body replacement mod. The well-known body enhancer made famous in Skyrim is back and enhanced for Skyrim Special Edition. You can feel free to read the description, but basically what this is, it's a body replacement mod that will affect both the player and all, in this case, female NPCs. Go ahead to Files and grab the main file and let that finish. Cool. You can go ahead and exit that. Now that that's done, feel free to enable it. Now again, a menu will pop up and there will be nudity. And while this is personal choice, for the time being, just select all the same options as me. You do not need to get CBBE. You can get UNP, but that requires a whole list of different file installations of the mods I'm going to show. A lot of the mods I'm going to show is taking into account that you've got CBBE, so just grab it. Now when this menu pops up, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go never nude. You're welcome to choose whatever you want. I've gone curvy. This is up to you. You can choose whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Vanilla outfits, keep that on. Face pack, go ahead and remove that one. This is again up to you. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And bush, up to you. Once you've done that, go ahead and just click finish. We will wait for that to finish and then move on to the body slide. Go ahead and enable. Now, the body slide. Go ahead. What Body Slide in Outfit Studio does, it adds weight to the body. So yes, stuff like boob physics, or in general, weight physics. When you walk, you jiggle. It is what it is. You might be asking, why do I need this? You'll need it for other fixes later on in the other videos. Just grab it anyway. I'm showing you how to do it. Go over to Files. Now, some places might say you can't do this through the mod manager, but you can. There's just a few extra steps involved. Install, then enable. Once you've got that enabled, go ahead and go to your dashboard. Go new. It has body slide there. I'm gonna do new. Main reason is if you use the body slide, the icon doesn't change, and I like having the icon there. Go body slide. Go over to target. Make your way to your Skyrim. So apps, common, Skyrim, data, Caliente's tools, body slide, and we want the x64 version of the exe. open and save. And there you go. So now if you click play or run, this should open up, and if you're seeing all these cogs, that's good. It's registered that you've got the CBBE, and if you click preview, now if you go over to the dashboard and you've set up your body slide like I've described, and you hit run, if you see all of this, that's good. If you hit preview, this should not happen. This has never happened to me before. If I open up my VORTEX on my main system, I believe I'm running into some unique issues because I am doing this on VirtualBox. I did not anticipate it, but I will still show you what you need to see to know yours is working fine. So if I open up my VORTEX on my main system, go over to the dashboard, once it decides to listen, and I run my body slide, this should pop up with all the sliders, and I hit preview, you should see a body, which you will then be able to small, big, and you can adjust the physics. And we'll get more into this later, but if you're seeing all of this and you have this kind of control, that means it's working. This is what you want to see. You can go ahead and don't save anything, just go ahead and close all of that. If you're seeing that, then things are working good. Going back to the VORTEX where I'm installing everything for this video, some other things that you need to do is, so if you already have the script extender, that's fine, but go ahead and add that. You want to click these three dots, go edit, Skyrim script extender 64, go on target. You want to go over to common, special edition, and find the SKSE 64 underscore loader.exe. Go ahead and open that, save that, click the three dots, make primary, and you should see this little white tag. Once you've done that, whenever you click launch through VORTEX, it'll start up the script extender and that will get everything running. This is the only one you need to make primary. Now again, I think the only reason, like even if I do prisoner body again, you should not be getting this. I have no idea why I am getting it. The only guess I have is because I'm using VirtualBox. I have shown you exactly what I did on my main computer and everything is all good. Now that I have shown you how to install BodySlide, you can go ahead and get rid of that. Go over to Force New Ideals, go to the files. We want to scroll down to the creature pack. Go and grab that. Wait for that to finish. Cool. Go ahead and grab the spells pack as well. Wait for that to finish. Head over to your mods and install and enable both. These do not need any extra steps like the behaviors did. These will look at the behavior and know what to do. Cool, no issues, so that's good. You can now close Force New Ideals. Adjust library for SKSE plugins. Contains a header file and a database to make SKSE DLL plugins visible and independent easily. Basically, this just makes every item in the game readable and in a list for SKSE for other mods to read in a much easier manner. Or in other words, a bunch of technical shit that will make your life a little bit easier. So grab it. We want the all-in-one. Go ahead and install that. Cool. Having it deploy each time you've installed the mod is good because this might be the long way to do it, but doing it this way will also identify any issues, and if there is a new issue and you knew everything was fine, then you know it's something this mod has affected, or whatever mod it might be. And that's just another way to narrow down your troubleshooting. So this might be time consuming, but it's one way to avoid all of that stuff. Actor limit fix. This, as the name suggests, fixes the amount of actors or characters on screen or in a given area from the game from freaking out. So go ahead, File, Most Updated Version, grab that. V2, that's the one we want. Now, this is asking for the .NET script framework. I have looked at all of my mods, even the 100 I've got uninstalled. I do not have this. So, for keeping consistency of what is working for me, we're not going to grab it either. Go ahead and install that. One thing to keep in mind is if something isn't working later on, I've now made a mental note that I did not grab this, and I will now attribute that to the first thing I will do if I run into any issues. I will enable, if it does not say any missing masters, then everything should be fine. Everything seems to be fine. Cutting room floor for SSE. A mod to restore several pieces of cut content in Skyrim Special Edition. For one reason or another, Bethesda has decided to remove a couple of things from the game. Those files still exist, but were hidden. What Cutting Room Floor does is add those to the game. We need Cutting Room Floor for that, and for many other mods that ask you to have Cutting Room Floor. So go ahead, main version, mod manage download, Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch we already have, download. Let that finish, install, enable, cool, next mod. 360 movement behavior. Just like this GIF shows, it allows for 360-degree movement with a slight little lean. Essentially, it blends the animations instead of you just teleporting to the direction you're running. Download, mod manager, no requirements, let it finish. Now I am expecting this to show our first conflict. It has in the past, and it should again. Enable, conflicts. This is perfectly fine, and it is something you'll encounter most likely more than once through your modding. Go ahead and click More, Show. Now, in older systems, you would change the order of your load order. You change the positioning of the plugins in your load order. This is doing the exact same task with a different interface and a different method. You're going to tell 360 to run before FNIS data because we always want this to go last. So go ahead. Just because it says suggested does not mean that's accurate. Always use your own intuition and whatever video you watched recommendations. Go before, 360 movement, FNIS behavior, yep, before again. And that should be everything. If there's no question marks, that's good. Go ahead and click Save. It'll deploy again. If it doesn't, make it. You can either deploy there like I did, or click here. And good. It's now happy. Next, SSE Engine Fixes for SKSE 64 plugin. There are two parts to this. Go ahead and grab the first part. Address library, Microsoft Visual CC. You might already have this. I will supply the link in the description. If you do not have this, go ahead and click that or the link. Scroll down to the 2015, 17, and 19. We want the 64 version. Go ahead and download that. I already have because again I've refilmed this. Once that's finished downloading, go to where you've set up your downloads folder, run this. Apparently I already have it, so I'm just going to exit it. Yes. So once you've run that, if you do not have it, cool, awesome, you're good to go. Go back here, you now have all three, click download. One thing I also recommend is please go ahead and endorse all the mods that we revise because they go through a lot of time. It costs you no money. You can donate, but that's just what it is, donate. But by endorsing it, you are saying, hey, I like this, and then more people see it. When installing for the first time, it's the best habit to get into. When you install a couple hundred mods and you forget to, it's quite a mission. So just go ahead and do it while watching these videos. So part 1, go ahead and install that, enable. So for part 2, it is only a manual download. You will from time to time get this in some mods. Go ahead and manual download that. Extract this, click OK. Part 2, go into this folder, grab all of this, copy, go to where you have saved your Skyrim, and copy it there. I've already done this because, again, I've had to record this 4 times. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. You should just be pasting it in, and that's part 2 finished. This is one of the rare times we will be manually installing directly to the folder. That's Engine Fixes done. DLL Plugin Loader. This one, it's another one of those bunch of complicated bullshit. You're gonna grab it because you need it. Manual download, description. So we're going to follow what it says in the description, which is, get this, binkw64.dll. So if I go to where I've installed Skyrim, I've done this, and so you're just gonna have to, you will only have one binkw64.dll. Select it, rename it. Shortcut key is F2, or you can just right click and rename. You want to add an underscore. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it, and then hit save. Then you'll have this version. You want to then go to where you've just installed the DLL. I've already done that. Extract files. Okay, there you go. Go inside this folder. You want to copy this and paste here. You should now have both of these. And now, just to make sure everything's working fine, quickly check. Yep, we have everything installed so far. There is no notifications. Quickly run a deploy, and just to make sure everything is working so far, go ahead and run your Skyrim just to the title page. If you get your Skyrim and everything's launched fine, good. If you really want to, you can go ahead and start a new game just to make sure everything's fine. I am not going to be doing that just yet, because that's all I needed to see for now. Let's go ahead and go to the next mod. ENB. Now, this isn't one of the mods you need to make everything work, but there is a VORTEX special way to install it, and I'm going to show you as a bit of a bonus. This website's a bit weird. Go ahead and click News. Click Download. We want the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition, so click that one. Scroll down, click the latest version. Right now it's 6.4.3. Grab that. Scroll down and click this download. So go ahead and extract ENBSeries. We want the wrapper version. We need the D3D11.dll and the D3D compiler. Grab those, right click, add to archive. 7-zip, add to archive. Then rename this to something appropriate. 0.421. Zip ultra. Yes, yes, yes. And click OK. Now that we have that, go ahead to your VORTEX. Open up this little drag drop. You can now drag and drop this in there. Do not install it. Right click, unpack as is. Do not enable it yet. If it is, disable it. Double click, scroll down, mod type ENB, scroll up, version, we're going to call it, and we can probably now get rid of this just to clean it up a little bit. I am a bit of a numpty. We installed the 4.6.3. So go to that, version 4.6.3. Done. That way, if it ever updates, you know to disable this and enable the most recent one. Go ahead and enable that, let that deploy, and boom, that one's done. Next, HDT-SMP. This adds, the long and short of it, it adds physics for stuff like when you walk, a bit of jiggle. Just grab it. It's one of the required mods for a couple of the other mods we will be getting. We have those. Download. install and enable. No issues. Next. RaceCompatibility. So go along to Files. I did not grab the most recent one for this, and that's actually updated yesterday. Damn. I have compared it to the file I have, and for some reason I have grabbed this. So I'm going to do it again. Yeah, this is a slightly different version. I've got this in my main files on my main computer, so this is the one I'm going to get again. Install. Moonlight we do not have. We have USSEP. We do not have any vampire transformations. And we do not have any of that. So go ahead and finish. A lot of those decisions you can just make by kind of knowing what you have. If you're not sure, don't hesitate to exit that, check, and go back into it. It will not hurt the program to do that. You'll just have to remake all the decisions. And then go ahead and enable. To exit one of those mod menus is not going to be an issue. You'll just have to start the process all over again. So never be afraid to do that. Next mod, UIExtensions. This, admittingly, is more for people who make mods, but we need it for a few of the mods that we will be installing. Just go ahead and grab it. It will not affect your performance at all. If I'm going a little bit quick, feel free to slow the video down or just pause until you've caught up. But most of these, it's just going to the main files and downloading. Install, enable, let it deploy. What's up? Oh, I thought we already did that. Dismiss. Mods, just checking. None. Okay, and uninstalled. None. Sweet. Next, SSE Fixes. Now, this one just helps with a lot of bugs and FPS drops in certain areas after you have. If you have over a certain amount of mods, you start getting FPS drops. And it's not the fault of the mods. You could have blank mods installed that do nothing. They just empty files. If you have enough of them, like 20 plus, you start getting FPS drops. So this just fixes that and lets your game run a little bit more smooth. Go along to Files, Latest File, and Mod Manager. We already have that. Download, that finish, and go ahead and enable. It doesn't matter where you enable from there or here. It's all the same thing. It's just giving you options. Awesome. And the last one, Qwinn's Unified Automated Self-Installing Patch Compendium, or QUASIPC, or however you want to pronounce that. User's choice. This is pretty much exactly what it says. It's a massive collection of patches that this author has put together for our ease of use. This one you will be reinstalling every single time you're done with a bunch of extra mods. No, that does not mean you have to go through this. I will show you exactly how to do it. It's very easy. This mod has to be the last one. This mod has to be the last installed mod in your load order. The reason for that is because you can't affect any of its settings. It will automatically scan for every mod that you've got enabled and then apply text. So right now I can't click that because it's scanned and has determined I do not have that. Right now it's going to be quite empty because we don't have any of the mods in this list. In future videos we will. So in future videos I'll show you how to reinstall. But for now, grab it anyway because it's a very important one and I judged it worthy to have on the must-haves because it just has so many fixes. If you've missed some, this might have it, kind of a deal, you know? So it's a real lifesaver. Just go ahead and click through all the panels. If you're ever going through one of these mod pages, you can flick back and forth. There's no harm done. So if you've made a decision and realized, oh no, I must have chosen the other thing, feel free to go back or just redo this entire process. It's not, don't be afraid of it. This one has a few tabs because it's got quite a few patches. Just put up with it and hit finish. Enable and done. Once that's deployed, Some mods are redundant. Oh, okay, interesting. Show. Yeah, it's saying it's redundant because I haven't got any mods that it's looking at. Just ignore that for now. Dismiss. That one will become relevant in future videos. But that is all the mods installed. And now that we have all of that, go ahead and run Skyrim. If you see this ENBSeries, that means it is registering the files we put in there. At the moment, we do not have an ENB on our system, but the drivers are all there. This time, we're going to go ahead and launch a new game. And we're going to see if we can get all the way to the starting point. Normally, videos will recommend to do this before you start modding, but I was fairly confident in my load order that everything was going to be fine. If I encounter no issues with the default version of Skyrim, I will cut past all of this, but if I run into anything, I will make sure to include it in the video. If this video plays how it's always ever played for you, that's a good thing.
Hey,
sometimes this scene will bug out if random bugs have occurred in your game.
You there? You and
a most commonly known one is this cart spinning around like crazy. We do not have that, so that's a good sign. Now as we approach the rope on that bridge, or gateway, you'll notice if SMIM has been installed properly, these ropes should be 3D instead of just painted on. This is another check I like doing.
Please help me.
Yep, it's 3D, so SMIM is installed correctly. So far so good. Another hint is to look at people's eyes. Sometimes if you have too many things affecting the character models,
why are we stopping?
It will affect their eyes.
Why do you think?
And that's another sign of issues. But so far all my eyes look fine. Basically,
we're not rebels.
The more normal your cutscene is,
some courage.
the more okay your Skyrim is.
We worked with you. This is a mistake.
Go ahead and save your game here real quick, and save it one more time. This double save will give us an opportunity to load back to this without corrupting the original, and we can see the race menu has loaded perfectly fine. You can just slide these back and forth. The presets are all still there, and a whole bunch of other things. Some of these might be empty because we don't have any mods that go in those listings just yet, but this is what I mean by the controllability you have. So everything seems to be working fine. So go ahead and finish. As long as you don't see any lighting issues or things that look like it doesn't belong.
In your homeland.
So far so good on everything we've installed, no issues. Now you can go ahead and loop like you're supposed to.
Run.
Maybe one of these Imperials had the key. See if you can unlock that door.
Run.
Cool. And once you made it to this part, I don't recommend doing it the way I did it, but go ahead and save. This will be the save we load to from now on. And if you want it before and after, I recommend taking a screenshot and then doing a second save. That way, when you're done modding after all of these videos, you've got something to compare it to. And that's that. That's the end of the second video.